Janavallabha Girivaradhari Shodanandana Brajajanarandana Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatiramanachari ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमामो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you. This topic of Sharanagati is a very, very vital topic for sadhana bhaktas. For those who are newcomers, topics like soul, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, Karma, basic topics of Gita may be important. But those who have come to the point of 16 rounds, for them the Sharanagati is a very important topic. Because once you clearly ascertain the goal in your mind, and you know the procedure to attain that goal, then your practice will be very joyful. If you haven't ascertained your goal very clearly, you have a very vague idea of your ultimate goal, and you are also not having good clarity about your path which you have to take to attain the goal, then it's likely to be troublesome or very arduous endeavor without much fruits. And that is one reason why in the path of sadhana bhakti some people either become dull or they become slack. So that is why recently the Sharanagati I did in 2-3 days in 2-3 different places in India. I realized that there are so many valuable pointers to be applied in our life, which if we do, we would make a very rapid progress in the path of sadhana bhakti. That is why it is very important. So, yesterday we were doing the first limb, which is Anukulasya Sankalpo. Sankalpa means a firm, determined vow. It's not a careless vow or a cool vow. Like a vow cannot be casual for making progress. I heard the story of a monkey who took a vow to follow Ekadashi. The only mistake he did was the day before Ekadashi, he went around telling everybody that he is going to do a Nirjal Ekadashi. He will not even touch a drop of water. Then all the monkeys said, "Oh, you are a great soul, you are going to do Nirjal Ekadashi." But one monkey wanted to pull his leg. So he said, Ekadashi day, if you fast the next day, you may not be able to pluck the fruits, better pluck and keep. So then he plucked those fruits and kept. And again he said, post Ekadashi, the Dwadashi day, second day, you may not be able to even bite the fruits. We won't have any stamina to bite, any strength to bite. So he then bit and kept. Then he said, you may not have any strength to lift it also. Better to keep it in the mouth. So he kept it in the top and bottom. So guess what must have happened with this Nirjal Ekadashi. No more vow. So the vow cannot be like lines drawn on a water. The vows have to be like lines drawn on a stone. If you make a vow, one has to stick to it, not like the slack monkey. So like Raghunathdas Goswami, he took a vow to chant fixed number of rounds and go around Govardhan every day. So one has to make a determined vow. That's why the Anukulasya Sankalpa means what? Accepting those items favorable for devotional service, no matter how much difficult they may be. So yesterday we spent some time in describing about the nature of the Sattva and Rajas. In Sattva Guna, the happiness doesn't come instantly in the beginning. It comes gradually, and then it leads you to Amritattva, ocean of happiness. Whereas in Rajaguna, the pleasure comes instantly in the beginning, and then it gradually leads you to ocean of poison afterwards. So most of the world is looking for which one? Instant pleasure or gradually attained happiness? Instant pleasure. Instant pleasure is cotton candy. It looks very attractive, but very soon it will turn pale. Like for example, you cram and vomit in the exams. You get the marks, but you have not understood the subject. On the other hand, studying and understanding a subject deeply is like watering a plant and gradually growing it into a mango tree and getting the mangoes. It's not like we say Rome was not built in a day. We say no, it doesn't happen overnight. So steady, consistent, persistent, unwavering practice is required in attaining a true goal. So therefore, yat dadagre vishamiva parinamo amritopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. Krishna says the activities in Sattva-guna, they are a little painful in the beginning. Rising early in the morning, chanting the holy name, coming to the temple, and following the 4 regulative principles. They may be a little pricking in the beginning, but then one tolerates and eventually they produce everlasting happiness very soon. So devotee will experience that. Sukham and Jnanam, these are the 2 gifts for those who adopt the sattvic practices. Sukham means happiness, and Jnanam is wisdom, knowledge. So you get both. On the other hand, he says about Rajaguna, what he said? He said, Vishayendriya samyogat yadadagre amritopamam pariname vishopamam tatsukam rajasamsmritam. He says that Vishayendriya samyogat, contact of the senses and sense objects is instantly pleasing. But in the long run, for example, the junk food is immediately pleasing when you put in the mouth. It's very crispy and very tasty. But then eventually it produces very, very bad results, whether it be obesity or indigestion or so many other complications. So, in the same manner, the contact between man and woman is very pleasurable in the beginning, but eventually it becomes painful. Prabhupada says in 18.38 purport. So, therefore, those devotees who adopt the path of Krishna consciousness, they are very intelligent. They know how to attain the true happiness by paying the price and following the process and not just foolishly looking for instant pleasure. So, having said that, one another very vital point I made yesterday. Why at all should we practice spiritual life? Why not just eat, drink and be merry? Somebody may ask that question. So in the beginning I took time to explain that in this world, far from enjoying life, all living beings are simply trying to counter one suffering after another. So right from the time you get up in the morning, if you don't brush your teeth, your mouth will be stinking. If you don't take a bath, your body will be stinking. If you don't put food, your stomach will be hungry and pinching. If you don't drink water, you will be feeling thirst and burning of the throat. You will see that. If you don't have a house, you can't live in chill cold winter and scorching hot summer. You cannot live. You need a house. And if you, even if after you have given all these things, you may be thinking that now that I have earned money and I have a house, I have a car, I have a home, I have everything. No, you won't be happy because there are three enemies sitting inside the heart: lust, anger and greed. So they hanker for the companionship with somebody. The anger wants to beat up somebody. The greed wants to loot somebody. Or one wants luxuries. So these burning three enemies in our heart cannot be pacified by any material solution. The whole world we can see is in a state of wars nowadays and state of turmoil. Mainly it's because not only our bodily demands are there are also mental demands, demands in our mind. So, then responding to them, that is why all the people who are exceeding the Lakshman Rekha, they are all exceeding due to these three enemies only. You see, Shurpanaka, she was madly attracted to Rama, and she disguised herself to look like the Rakshasi. She was a Rakshasi, ugly looking, but then she made herself look like a very beautiful young girl. She went in front of Ram, and then Ram said, I already have a wife. I don't want anyone else. I have taken Ekapatni Prata. I will marry only one wife, and I have already married, and I will not look at anybody else for enjoyment. So my brother is alone. You can go to him. So Ram was playing. So she went to Lakshman and said, okay, this fellow is also not all that bad. He is almost as good as his brother. Lakshman said, I am also married. My wife is in the palace so that I can render service to Sita Ram. I wanted all my exclusive 24 hours time for serving them. So I am not interested in anybody coming to me now. Better go to Ram only. And again she went to Ram. Then she thought, oh, this Rama is not marrying me because he already has a wife Sita. If I finish Sita, then I can enjoy Rama. She thought like that. Then she stared at Sita with the envious eye. And then Rama told Lakshman to do the needful. And Lakshman cut off her nose and ears and drove her away. And she, as soon as she did that, she revealed her ugly looking form. Huge form. Everybody came to understand what kind of Rakshasi she was. So in this world, we can put up a show of being a very good person externally, but inside, there is also another bad side of our personality due to these three enemies, lust, anger and greed. And that comes out in an ugly way if one does not cleanse these impurities of lust, anger and greed. And this lady, she went and told Ravana, but Ravana was not taking the matter seriously. In order to make him take the matter seriously, she described the beauty of Sita. Sita walks like a peacock, she sings like a cuckoo, her face looks like a full moon, her lips are like a vimba fruit, her eyes are like lotus petals, so many things she described. This fellow, after having heard the description from Shurpanaka, what happened to him? He became lusty for Sita. See, very amazing Ramayana, you will see, when Lord Rama is describing the beauty of Sita to Hanuman, Hanuman's affection and respect for Mother Sita increased. He thought of himself to be like a son of Sita, and his respect and adoration for Sita increased. By hearing from whom? Lord Ram. On the other hand, when Ravana heard about Sita from Shurpanaka, his lust increased. That means whom you hear from is also very important. If you are going to hear the materialistic tidings of the material world, our lust will increase. And when we are hearing about Lord from the scriptures, our love for the Lord will increase, you see. So, then Ravana became another lusty rogue, just like Shurpanaka, and then he went to kidnap Sita. And the result, you know what happened? Sita, he only earned the curse of Sita. Sita said, "You scoundrel, you rogue, you have no good sense. My husband Ram is like sandalwood and you are like mud," she said. "He is like Garuda, you are like a crow. He is like a Mount Everest and you are like a small mound." She said, "He is like ocean, you are like a puddle of water. He is like gold, you are like iron," she said. Basically, she is telling difference between love and lust. She is telling. So, in this way, he earned the displeasure of Sita, grievances of Sita, so he got destroyed also, Ravana. So you will see that in this way, you will find the burning lust in the hearts of the conditioned souls is explained by the character of Ravana and Shurpanaka. Same manner, the burning greed is explained by the character of Duryodhana. The burning anger is explained by the character of Hiranyakashipu towards Prahalad. So in this way, these are three internal enemies, they have to be cleansed also. So one has to be intelligent enough to understand what are the problems I am facing in this world as a jiva who is trapped in the body like a bird trapped in a cage. Once you are clear about the problem in hand, and then the next comes the solution. What is the solution? Yesterday we discussed. The solution is, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, "Trividam narakasyedam dvaram nashanamatmanaha kama krodha tatha lobhas tasmat etatrayam tyajed." One should abandon these three enemies, he says. But how are the enemies to be abandoned? So therefore, the first thing that comes in our life is authority. Whose authority we are going to take, who can help us in escorting us to the ultimate goal of life? Who can... so everybody in this world is looking for some authority to follow. There are false, fake authorities, then there are real, genuine authorities. And a good amount of our life we can go in searching after the right authority. So fortunately, Srila Prabhupada and his books are flooding the whole world. And the Vaishnava authorities, actually they take us back to the personality of Godhead. And then the impersonalistic authorities will take you to Brahma Jyoti. The mystic yogis, they may either award you some yoga to cure your back pain or your neck pain. That's what most of the organizations nowadays are doing. Or they may teach you how to levitate or go to Siddhaloka and get some powers. So most yogis don't know the ultimate goal of life. So, and there are many other self-help gurus nowadays who are simply cheating the world, by telling living entities how to pamper their senses and mind by some self-help, positive talk and auto-suggestion and all those things. They never bring them to the spiritual platform. So in this way, the whole world is filled with so many false authorities. So one has to actually get the right authority who can explain to us that the ultimate truth is the personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord Krishna, and the impersonal Brahman is only his effulgence of his body, which is like an attribute of the absolute. Just like you have the bulb, you have the light coming from the bulb. Similarly, the Lord is a personality, and the effulgence is just one of his attributes. And the goal is not just to remain in the Brahma Jyoti without rendering service. So, once we are clear about that goal of life as a personality of Godhead who is an embodiment of love, and whose greatest quality is to exchange pure love with his own servitors in different rasas like Vatsalya, beginning with Shantaras, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vachararas, Madhuryaras. So, if we are clear that I want to meet that personality of Godhead face to face and connect with him in pure love, and Prabhupada says love is the last word in transcendence. So recently, last year when I was in New York, Brooklyn Temple, I was giving a lecture to the Western newcomers. There were about 30, 40 of them. So I asked them, which is superior, love or peace? So majority of them voted for peace. And I was very surprised. Then I asked, can you give any reasoning? They said, oh, we have practical experience of broken love, so we chose peace, they said. Then I understood, they are talking about what love?
Mundane love.
Mundane love. Mundane love is in which axis? Negative axis. Mundane love is miserable in this world. But the peace is 0, 0. And the love that we are talking about in Krishna conscious movement is in which axis? Positive axis. The spiritual love. Then I explained to them, feverish state, convalescent state, and a healthy state. That is positive axis. Similarly, miserable quarrel between husband and wife, and then 0, 0, wife is in her parents' home and husband is here. That is peace. And then they both stay together in love, that is positive axis. After I said all these things, then I asked how many have to vote for, pure love of God. Everybody voted after that. They understood the difference. So, let's be very clear. Where we want to go, what we want to attain is go beyond the negative axis to 0, 0, and not get stuck in 0, 0, like nirvana or 0, 0, nirvishesh. That is not the goal. Go to the positive axis, meet the Lord in the spiritual world and connect with Him in pure love in the spiritual world. So, once the goal is ascertained, after that, what is the method to attain the goal? And that is what is Anukulasya Sankalpa. Anukulasya Sankalpa means there are methods which I have adopted. Just like you have an acid test or a salt test you have, at the end of which you will be able to know by the reading the quality and characteristics of the base or the salt, in the laboratory you do that. In the same manner, in the path of spiritual life also there is a procedure to be followed. And that procedure is taught by a guru. And the guru-disciple relationship and how the love of God is awakened, it's very scientifically explained by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sanatana Goswami. He says that it's like planting a seed and then growing a creeper, a plant. You water it, you fence it, you give manure to it, you give sunlight to it, and eventually it comes up. It will produce love of God, fruit of love of God. So what is that procedure? So the beginning with the very first procedure is the chanting. Because the chanting is like the food for the soul. Just like you eat food for the body. Like in a car you put petrol, in a tire you put air. The radiator you put water. But then driver has altogether different type of food. You give him different food. In the same manner, we are also breathing with our nose. We are taking in air. We are taking food for the body. But what is the food for the soul? That is spiritual food for the soul. It's mainly Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan. These two are the main. Hari Katha is given in the Gita Bhagavatam. It's called as Krishna Upadesh, Krishna Shiksha. Krishna Katha and Krishna Upadesh. So that is the Hari Katha, and Hari Kirtan is the chanting of the holy name. These two are the most prominent, if you want to know in essence. Because you will see in the Upadeshamrita book, it says, Tannama rupa charitadisu kirtananu sprityo kramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan vajeta dhanuragi jananugami kalam nayeda kilametupadesha saram. He says the essence of all instructions, he says, is what to do. Tat nama rupa charita adi sukirtananu. Here the name, form, qualities, pastimes, activities of the Supreme Lord from Gita and Bhagavatam, he says. Smrityo, remember the pastimes of the Lord. Kramena rasana manasi niyojya. Engage your tongue in two activities. One is to eat prasad and chant the glories of the Lord. See, chant the glories, when you say it has two meanings. Chanting the holy name and chanting the holy fame. If you do this. So chant the holy fame, which is the fame? Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya. Engage your mind. Not only you do it with your tongue. Like when you chant in the morning japa in the temple, you are bringing the body surely. And you are bringing your words also. Now what is the third thing that's likely to be missing? One thing we miss out? Mind. So he says, Manasi Niyojya. Bring the mind also, he says. It's the most important thing. Bringing body is good. Bringing words is also good. Some people miss the words also. If you sleep, then the words have not come. Only what has come? Body has come, but the words and mind are missing. So bring the body, bring the words, and also bring the mind. Manasi niyojya. Tishthan praje. Live in a Vrindavan type of environment, which is either the temple or the home, where you create a Vrindavan atmosphere. And then, tad anuragi jana anugami. Prabhupada is like anuragi jan. And many Prabhupada disciples, faithfully those who are practicing, anuragi jana anugami, become a follower of one personality who is properly situated in devotion service. And kalam naye, that's all you have to do. Spend your time peacefully. And this is Upadeshasaram. He said, it's not a very big thing. You just have to live in the association of those who are pursuing for the ultimate goal of life. And also, two things, Harikatha and Harikirtan, focus that. In order to do this, there are 64 instructions given by Rupa Goswami Pada. In that, the first 5 and last 5 are very important. What is the first 5? Adav Guru Padashray, take shelter of a spiritual master, Krishna Diksha Di Shikshanam, take Shiksha from him and Diksha also from him. And Sadhu Vartman Vartanam, also follow the saintly persons in the Guru Parampara for coming. The sadhus also mean other saintly persons, and also all of them in Parampara, Guru Parampara. And then Vishrambena Guru Seva, he says, one should render service to Guru by very carefully following the instructions given. Adav Guru Pada, and then he says, Sad Dharma Pricha, he says, make inquiries. Somebody says, after hearing a whole class, any questions? One boy was like lifting at the end. I asked, what is the question? Oh, no, my question is answered. What is it? I just wanted to know how long the class will go. That's the only question. So, one should learn to ask pertinent questions after hearing the subject. Like one man told Prabhupada, Swamiji, I have a question. Prabhupada said, is it on my class which I gave just now? He said, not exactly about your class, something else, he said. Prabhupada said, why something else? Why not from the class? Just now I spoke, did you hear me or not? Prabhupada said, when some subject is being spoken, in the audience you have to hear it well, and you have to ask a question pertinent to the class. Other questions can always be asked later. But pertinent to the class one should ask. Because Prabhupada said, first you understand what I am saying, and then you ask other questions. Otherwise, when I am saying something, you are thinking something else. There are many people who ask many questions, hundreds of questions. The whole world is filled with questions and answers. But we want that question and answer which will help us to implement something really practically in our life. Even in the Bible, Jesus said, it may be good to know a mountain of information, but we should at least apply a mustard seed of that information in our real life. Application is more important than knowing the knowledge. If somebody knows the oceanic books but doesn't apply anything in life, doesn't make any difference at all. It is simply like profuse information with no wisdom. So therefore, these are the first 5. The last 5, all of you repeat this. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravan. Yes?
Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravan.
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan.
Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevan.
So, Sadhu Sangha, one should associate with saintly persons, because saintly association strengthens our devotion. That is the purpose of saintly association. Saints means they have no other business in anything other than God. Prabhupada says they are after God and after God only. He says, anytime you go and meet them, they will talk about God only. They will not have any other interest. If any saint is interested in any other subject matter, he is not a proper saint yet. He is actually having some other ulterior goals in life. So 24/7, the saint's constant meditation is on God only. So this he writes in that SSR book about saints and swindlers, if you read. So anyone who is absorbed in thinking of God, remembering God, either he is thinking, remembering, relishing, appreciating the scriptures and the information about God, or he is eager to hear from others who can speak about God, or he is eager to tell others about God. He has no other business besides this. This is what a saint is made up of. Just like, for example, anybody working for a company, you will see a salesman. Anytime you pinch him, immediately he'll tell about the product. You seen that? Correct or not? Immediately, even at night sleep, you pinch a salesman, he will jump up and tell you the product. He will start describing. LIC agencies, isn't it? So, because he is soaked in money making, correct, no? Actually, I remember our two Chowpati brahmacharis, they went to one shop in Bombay. It was a shop, long shop like this. As soon as early morning, they went to the shop and two saffron sadhus. That fellow sitting in his cabin, the owner, told his servants, hey, throw these fellows out. Early morning they have come for begging some donation or something. So when that fellow came to shout at them, he was almost about to shout. They said, we have come for purchasing some pipes in the shop. So we wanted a quotation from your shop, we want to purchase. So when he went and told, immediately that fellow's face changed. He said, oh really, please call them. He made them sit in his cabin and then, like sort of wished them, Hare Krishna and all that, everything spoke. Thank you, you are making a purchase with us. You are our first customer today, please come. And his treatment totally changed. So, if you see such salesmen, they are money-minded. For money, they can show all their 32 teeth. They can show. And if you go for donation, they will show the door. Is it not true? So, his absorption is money-making, that's all. He doesn't have any other goal beyond that. But devotee's business is constantly how I can practice Krishna consciousness and how I can preach Krishna consciousness and how I can take Krishna to as many living entities as possible. Prabhupada was in India. One old Agarwal, he was 82 or 83, that man was having some grievance. He wanted to meet Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, what's your grievance? He said, you see Swamiji, I am born in Agarwal family, but my son left India and went to America. And he is married to an American girl and he is living in America now. I always wanted him to be, doing something related to God. So that is why if any saint goes to America, I connect them to my son so that they can, he can get some association, sadhu sangha, he can get, like the Prabhupada. At that time Prabhupada was not even, there was no plan for Prabhupada to go to America, but immediately told him, give me a number. He noted down and kept. Later on when his plan came to go to America, he called and said, I'm going to America now, send me to your son. So Prabhupada was super attentive, alert, his antenna was always on if there is an opportunity for bringing Krishna to people. So Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, which is chanting of the holy name, Bhagavata Shravan, which I told you, Harikatha, Harinam I told you, Mathura Abhas, making home like a temple. So when you go to somebody's homes, they have photos of all their family members and in different poses, different photos. Wherever you turn around, they have only family members, many, big and small, all types of photos. You look for any godly, some people put at least some natural scenery they put, or some people put some pictures of dogs and everything, which is their favorite. So, but you don't find, a home should be filled with, just like here you see, this is the way you can make your home into a temple. Put pictures of the Lord. You look at Yashoda, coming to running to receive Krishna and his friends. You see, it is such a soothing picture to watch. So, in this way, there should be a prominent altar in the home. Most of the homes, if you go, as soon as you enter their house, the prominent thing is the television. Big television. It's called a one-eyed guru. Sitting there and all people in the home are focused on that without any, understanding of the goal of life. Of course, when one becomes very serious, the same place which was given for the TV will be replaced by altar. How many of you observed in devotee homes? Correct? As soon as you enter, it's a big altar you will find. So, that watching TV 6 hours a day is materialistic lifestyle. And spending time with the Lord 4 or 5 hours in the morning, evening, that is example of spiritual life. So it's not a very complex phenomenon to know who is spiritual, who is material. It's a very obvious thing. Whom are you spending time with? That will clearly show whether you are materialistic or spiritualistic. If you are going to be delighting in material, it's called Gramya Buddhi, it's like a crow class. A kaka only delights in the dustbin, pulling out some dead rat and trying to suck some juice out of that. But Hamsajan means those who are Hansas, their delight should be in studying the Gita, Bhagavatam and chanting the holy name, taking darshan of the deity, celebrating festivals for the Lord, distributing Prabhupada books, doing Harinam Sankirtan, and all the spiritual activities. Whether you are a man or a woman or a married person or a sannyasi, whoever you be, take a look at our own taste. What things are tasty for us. So, we have to make an effort to become a Hamsajan, following in the footsteps of great Hamsas like Prabhupada. So, in this way, Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Mathuravas, Sri Murtira Shraddhya Sevan, worshipping the deity. For those who are grihasthas, the deity worship is mandatory. Jiva Goswami says that. He says why? Because the grihasthas have to touch the bodies of their child relatives to whom they develop fondness. You can see that when you are living in a family situation, we all develop mental attachment very strongly, very easily, because there is a lot of interaction with family members. And closer and closer and closer interaction, our minds and hearts and bodies get interwoven within a family situation. So Prabhupada says, when a boy marries a girl, brought by both the parents, in the beginning they don't even know each other. Simply because the parents have brought them, they are agreeable to stay as husband and wife. But within 4 or 5 years, they become so thickly related that their minds become interwoven. They become practically inseparable. How did this attachment develop? Because the wife serves the husband, and the husband brings all the grocery and is a protector, provider and guide. And the wife is faithfully serving and the relationship becomes strong. In the same manner, although worshipping Krishna appears like a remote thing for us, not so familiar thing. If one is serving Krishna, gradually on the order of Guru has brought Krishna and the devotee together. By serving gradually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, there will be a very strong attraction for serving the Lord. That type of attraction will come about if one is doing it. If somebody is saying, no, Prabhu, what are you saying? You are saying 5 years, I am doing 10 years, still no attraction for Krishna. I am super confident, I am telling from my realization. If somebody says, that is because you are letting fire and pouring water. Again, letting fire and pouring water. That is why this point has come, Anukulasya, Sankalpo, Pratikulasya, Varjana. Because we are either not accepting favorable items or we are not rejecting unfavorable items. We are hanging around, it's called coasting along. We are coasting along. One man told, I have been to Bhaktivedanta hospital many times, my disease is not getting cured. He said, I asked, what did you do in Bhaktivedanta hospital? He said, I went, I hanged around, Prabhuji met many doctors, shook hands with them, they were all devotees, I just wished them Hare Krishna and came back. He said, then how will you get cured? You never told your disease, nor did they diagnose you, and they didn't give you medicine, you didn't eat the medicine, then how will you get cured? So, visiting temple piously, hanging around, taking darshan, spending some time is also very good. But that's not all. One has to come to the point of getting a spiritual master, receiving the holy name, get initiated, follow the 4 related principles, and then adopt the 64 principles like accepting Charanamrit, bowing down to the Lord, celebrating festival and all these things. Then as time comes when we become fixed up in Krishna consciousness. So, there is a verse which says, Bhajane Ramadya Sreshta Navavidha Bhakti Krishna Prema Krishna Dite Dhare Mahashakti Tara Madhya Sarva Sreshta Nama Sankirtan Niraparada Nama Lole Pabe Premadan. He says that amongst all the different types of bhakti, Navavidha Bhakti is topmost, and the Navavidha Bhakti amongst those 9 items which is topmost? Nama Sankirtan, chanting of the holy name. So, in this way, there is another verse which says, Adas Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhaved Grahyam Indriyai Sevonmukhe Jihvado Swayame Vasvaratyaraha. By chanting of the holy name, eventually the spiritual truths will become manifest in the heart of the devotee. By chanting sincerely, faithfully. So, for all of us, it's really worthy to spend some time with the chanting books. There are 5, 6 different books. Read those books to understand how to chant in Namabhas. There's Aparadhanam, Namabhas and Shuddhanam. Aparadhanam is like a dark cloud in the sky and sun is not visible. And Namabhas is like a silvery cloud with sun behind. And Shuddhanam is no cloud, only sun. So we want to come to which stage? Shuddhanam stage. But at least we should try which stage? Namabhas. Why Namabhas stage? In Namabhas stage, some clearing of the anarthas happens. But in Aparadhanam, the benefit is very minimal. Because it's like somewhat we are stuck in our spiritual life. So, therefore, Anukulasya Sankalpa means find out what principles are favorable to advance, and no matter how difficult it be, accept it. So 5 minutes are there, we can take some questions on this Anukulasya Sankalpa. I didn't rush through to go to the second, third, fourth Sharanagati principles, because first we should be very clear. Yesterday I sent notes to all the devotees. How many of you got the notes? Yeah, here also? Only you got, that's all. Nobody else got it. I sent it to whom? Huh? The group it is there? Others didn't get it, it seems. Any of you got the notes yesterday?
We have to check it.
Is it? Yeah? Bhaktavali, I have put it in the... Our Sundaranpu has sent it, I think, to everybody. Yeah. So you can look at the notes, that is Anukulasya Sankalpa notes is available for you. So, if you see it now, it will be very easy for you. Yesterday itself I showed one part, this is the second part. First part I showed you was, these things. The same things are said, whatever I told you now. Vaidya Bhakti, Raga Bhakti, I thought I explained yesterday. And then the Anukulasya Sankalpa, accepting Guru, the five potent forms of all that I have explained now today, elaborately. And then you go to the song Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu. That song has all the items. Ambarish Maharaj adapted all the items very nicely in his life. So, anybody knows the best things to adapt in our life, everything starts with one thing. Anybody can, let us see who says that. Let us ask our online devotees also. Your auspicious life begins with one thing. Who can say? After coming to ISKCON and taking darshan of the deities and being in a devotee community, how can your auspicious life, where does it begin? Most of, yes, Prabhu, Siddesh Prabhu?
Taking the names of the Lord.
He's saying taking the names of the Lord, okay?
Accepting Guru.
Accepting Guru?
Association.
Okay, yes? Associating with, yes, who said the other one? Associating with devotees, yeah, very true. Of course, all this is true because these things are already available. According to me, your auspicious life begins when you sleep early at night. I am not saying getting up early in the morning. Why I am not saying that? It's automatic if you sleep early. So begin your auspicious life by sleeping. Yeah. What is this? Sleeping early is auspicious? Yes. Because if you sleep early, you will rise early in Brahma Muhurta. If you rise early in Brahma Muhurta and take early morning bath, then your Sattva Guna increases. Then chanting of the holy name, reading, then your whole life is going to become very auspicious. But imagine you sleep at 11:30, you get up late in the morning, chanting is not done properly. His Holiness Samaksha Maharaj has one lecture where he says, before Mangalarti, those who finish 16 rounds, he says, I will write a bond and give you, you will go back to Godhead. He told all his disciples. Of course, I don't say we all have to do that, but it's difficult also to do that, chant all the rounds before Mangalarti. But the point is, sleeping early, rising early is very important. Only then it will be effective, our spiritual life is going to be effective. Those people who chant in the early morning very attentively, they become very serious in spiritual life. It is observed. Those people who don't sleep early and get up early, they are dragging on for 10, 20, 30 years also, but they are not serious enough in spiritual life. It's a fact. So therefore I told you, auspicious life begins with?
Sleeping early.
Of course, after sleeping early, you have to get up also in the morning. not sleep early and get up late. Sleep early, then get up early. And then not only get up early, and don't get into social media early morning. Now you get up early and do what? Chanting. So 3-point program. Sleep early, rise early and take bath, and then get into chanting. Then the auspiciousness is complete. Yeah. Any questions? 2 minutes. Anybody? Yes. Hare Krishna.
Very nice class, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Analogy you gave that just like parents bring together a boy and a girl.
Correct.
After some time, the bond forms.
Yeah.
Guru brings us and Krishna together. And after some time, if we don't see
Correct.
the bond forming, it's because maybe we are not doing.
The Anukulasya Sankalpa should be done properly. Correct. Thank you. Difficult, good point. Thank you. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. So we are coming to the next class when? Tomorrow or? tomorrow morning. So Bhaktavali devotees, tomorrow morning again I have 7 to 7:45. If you wish to join, you are welcome. Okay. If you are unable to join, then we'll put the recording. You can see it at your convenience. Okay. Shri Prabhupada ki. So we will show you darshan. Our Raguru will show you darshan of Radha Gopi Vallabha before you.
Now I have sent it.
Huh? Here they can see.
I miss sending the Boston group. I miss yesterday. I sent
Which one?
I miss the document. Anukulasya.
Oh.
Now I have sent it.
Now you send it now? Okay. The notes is sent to you. Okay. See. You can show darshan.
Radheshyam Prabhu ki.
Radheshyamdas ki.
Oh